Hello, this is Pete, or Kenshin1913, along with...
Mom.
This is another Cooking with Kenshin1913. What are we making today?
We're going to make Struffoli. It's a fried little dough ball. Okay, so this is actually quite easy. The hardest part of the whole preparation is rolling the dough out. So we're using 3 cups of flour. We're going to have a pinch of salt. We're going to have some baking powder and eggs. And that's it. Okay, so first we're going to put our eggs in our beater. Remember, if you don't have a mixer, you can use a hand mixer or just mix it all by hand. That's what we used to do before we had this great contraption.
Yep. So where did you learn this recipe? Who taught it to you?
From my grandmother.
Yep.
This is a dessert, basically, that was made. You hear a lot about it from Southern Italian people, and there's different names for it, depending on where you grew up in Italy. But this is what she told me the name of it was, Struffoli, and it's something sweet to eat after your Christmas dinner. Okay, so here we have our 3 eggs in here. I'm going to put 1/4 teaspoon of salt. And we're going to mix that. Okay, and now we're going to turn on our mixer. Beat these eggs up a little. Just to get them all incorporated with each other in the salt. Now I have 2 cups of flour here, and we're going to add 2 teaspoons of baking powder.
Yeah, so this is like a little round dough that we fry, and then you put honey and sprinkles, or as they call it, nonpareils. And honestly, I mean, where do you go wrong? Other than not really having a lot of flavor?
You get the sugar and the flavor really from the honey.
Right, so you're going to only put in about half right now because you don't want to have a flour bath.
Right, so you're going to start it on low.
But yeah, so we used to make, we don't really make this as much anymore, but we used to make this like all the time for Christmas. And you would just eat it. You wouldn't even use your fingers to eat it. You just use a spoon. You just take it out. My dad used to eat it like if it was like kicks. It was funny. But yeah, you want to get everything mixed well together.
Now the trick of this is after we get all this dough ball incorporated, we're going to knead it a little bit on the counter, and then we're going to cover it with a bowl and let it rest for about 20 minutes or so. So I'm going to take this out, get all of it off the paddle.
And what do you think? If you're not using big enough eggs, or what does it feel like, the dough?
It's not really sticky, but when you're rolling it, you'll complain a little bit because you're rolling and going to cut it, and it's shrinking back on you. Anytime you're rolling, you can the dough, you have to kind of feel it out and see how much trouble it's going to give you if it's going to start shrinking backwards. So this is not very sticky, as you can see. Like some doughs will stick all over your hands. So I'm just kneading it for a few minutes, just to incorporate, make sure everything is good. And then I'm going to put it here on the counter and cover it with a bowl.
Right, for about 20 minutes. You want to let it sit?
Right. And that's going to be it. I just have a round bowl I'm gonna cover it.
Yep, and we'll be back.
So it's gonna rest for a little bit. Okay. It's about 25 minutes, maybe a little longer, that we're back. And our dough has rested. And it actually feels softer because it actually rose a little bit. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take a little piece. I'm gonna put the rest of it back under the bowl to stay warm. Now what we're going to do is we're going to roll this out in a rope. Remember how when you played with Silly Putty or you played with Play-Doh? Now if this starts to get a little sticky, why I have a bowl of water here, you can dab your fingers in it like this and it makes it roll better. So this is what we're gonna do. Okay, maybe, I don't know how wide this is, maybe 1/4 of an inch wide.
Half inch. You're gonna take
And we're gonna cut it like this in little bits.
The other hand. Can you do it that way? Thank you. So yeah, as you can see, they're gonna be like little.
And then you're just gonna roll it.
Right.
See? So it comes like a little ball. It doesn't have to be perfectly round. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put these into the oil. We're putting them on the slotty spoon so that we don't splash. And they're going to get cooked until they're golden brown. They're going to pop up, as you can see. And as soon as they're golden brown, we're going to take them out and put it on a lined sheet.
Big sheet right here.
I'm gonna move this over a little bit, and then we could put our sheet right here.
All right. So what we're using right here is called a Fry Daddy. And what a Fry Daddy is basically a mini deep fryer, and we only bust it out maybe once or twice a year now. We try not to fry too many things, but these are classic Christmas confections. See, we were discussing what these are as we were waiting. Whether they're fried dough, and they're not technically a confection, because I think a confection has to be candy, right? I don't know, or something sweet. But anyways, yeah, let's see what.
The sweetness only comes from
The honey.
From the honey.
So how much Struffoli do you think you make out of this?
A nice bowl full.
Yeah, well, that's not really a.
I'm sorry, I'm not quite sure. We'll have to measure it.
Anyways, as you can see, my dad.
That's the first time that ever happened to me.
Is taking them out. They're golden brown. That's pretty much what they should look like. And we'll show you just a couple more, and then you get the point.
And we'll come back after we're done.
Yeah.
And we'll show you what to do with the finished product.
Right. Anyways, you're gonna let these fry till they're about this color here, golden brown. And that should only take about like a minute or two, a couple minutes per thing. And yeah, it's very simple.
Okay, these are our Struffoli, and as you can see, they don't really take on a lot of the oil. They're pretty dry, but you also, when at the end, you want to put them in an airtight container because you don't want them to get overly dried. So we're laughing here. So this is 2 cups.
Right.
Now, if you like making these and you want to make more, you're going to have to make a double recipe. So I'm gonna, just for the heck of it, see how many cups there are in here.
Yeah, there's
so one.
I was joking with my mom earlier. There's 182 Struffoli balls. As I recall. You definitely have 4 cups.
So yeah, about 4 cups. Now you can actually even make I've seen them made even smaller. So like that size, okay, compared to that size. So it just depends on how you're cutting them. Okay, so there's no wrong or right way. Okay. Okay. The next thing we're going to have is our honey. And these are Nonpareils. These little sprinkles are called Nonpareils. They're all different colors.
Not Jimmy's.
No.
No, go ahead. So what do we? How much How much honey do you usually add?
That's hard to say because you want to make sure that they're all coated. So you're going to have to judge that, okay?
Well, we'll say maybe 2 tablespoons, maybe?
No, probably more than that.
You think more than 2 tablespoons? Say a half cup, maybe?
This is a 12-ounce bottle.
You use about half of it, so about 6 ounces of honey you're going to be using in the Struffoli here.
Now you want to make sure that they're coated really well.
Yeah. Now I've seen people not put any nonpareils in there, and I'm like, what are you doing?
So what's going to happen is when you actually put this in a bowl, the honey, you know, is going to, it's heavy, so it's going, some of it is going to collect at the bottom of whatever storage bowl that you have. So you may want, before you start eating them again, you may want to mix it all up. These are good now. They're, every single one of them is coated nice and heavily with the honey, and you can see I still have some extra honey on the bottom. As I said, it just kind of floats to the bottom. And we're going to add our Nonpareils.
Yeah, now you could add Christmas colored sprinkles. We have those as well, but these are the ones we saw. And yeah, is there any reason for this?
No, this is just, I think just to add color. That's all. It doesn't do anything but add the color.
Yeah, so this
and these were when I was a little girl, this was like eating popcorn.
Right.
My grandmother would make these every year. And as I said, this is probably known more for the southern part of Italy. And different people, as I mentioned earlier, different people call them something different. So they may make them in other areas as well.
Is that enough with the sprinkles? Or
yeah, you could put as much sprinkles.
I'm just curious. I was just curious.
You can put as much sprinkles as you want.
Yeah, I was just curious.
And that's going to be it. And we're going to put these in a nice bowl. And you want a bowl with a lid on it so that you can store them. Okay, so we have a Rubbermaid airtight container that we're going to put them in.
Yeah.
And
now, one question I got for you, Mom. How long can these last? How long would you say you can keep these for? And should you put them in the refrigerator?
No, you don't need to put them in the refrigerator. And I've had them last maybe a couple of weeks. Usually they don't last that long. And as you can see, you know, I just was scraping a whole bunch of honey off the bottom. And remember, the honey's gonna sink again. So when you go to use these, you're gonna wanna mix them up again. And that's it.
So here's our Struffoli. As you can see, our lovely dough balls, fried dough with honey and sprinkles. And I'm using a spoon, like my dad would, like if he's eating
my fingers,
like if he was eating cereal.
And they're not like a fried dough ball.
No.
They're more dense and crunchy.
Yeah, they're good.
The dough is plain. You get the sweetness from the honey. Now,
yeah, about that honey.
Speaking of honey, you can change the flavor of the Struffoli. If you're using an orange honey,
yeah. Citrus.
that would be a little bit different. This happened to be wildflower honey. So you're going to get, you know, from the different flavors of honey, you're going to get a little bit different taste to the actual product.
Yeah, so if you plan on making it not around Christmas time like where we are, you can totally try different types of honeys and try it out. But yeah, I hope you have a happy holidays, even though this is going to make it not an evergreen episode, but whatever. Have a happy holidays. I've been Kenshin1913 along with
Mom.
And this has been another Cooking with Kenshin1913.
Enjoy and happy eating.